Например, как привет?
Мендут.
Нендоп?
Мендут.
Мендоп.
Я сама не знаю, как правильно.
There's a Buddhist republic in Europe and you probably didn't know about it. This is the hotel I spent the night at here in Elista, the capital of Kalmykia, a republic in southern Russia where Buddhism is the prevalent religion. So if you watched my previous video, you'll know that the reason why I'm here in Elista is because I flew from Moscow to Astrakhan yesterday to another region in southern Russia, and that was because I wanted to catch the Mother Lenin Cold statue in Volgograd. So as I was moving up north towards Volgograd, I ended up here in Elista, and that is just to give you guys the idea that I'm still in Russia, no worries, although it might not feel like it, although it might not look like it, but this is Russia. Well, you might not believe me when I say that this is Russia, but look at that. There goes your confirmation, the Russian flag next to the flags of the Kalmykian Republic. You see? This is as Russia as Moscow, as St. Petersburg, as Kazan, as Nizhny Novgorod. This is Russia. And oh my god! There's even a Lenin statue over there in the distance. Wow, you see, this is Russia. The Lenin statue of Elista, which is the only Lenin statue in the world which is right next to a Buddhist temple. Buddha and Lenin, name a more iconic duo. According to Buddhist tradition, it's going to bring you good luck if you are to do 10 laps around this thing. Nowadays, Kalmyks make up for around 70% of the population of Elista and the entire Republic of Kalmykia. They are easily distinguishable from Russians because they're the only indigenous population of Europe with Asian features. For example, you can see this Kalmyk doctor right here checking the eyesight of his patient, and other than their religion, they have their own language, the Kalmyk language, which unfortunately is now spoken mostly by older people. The younger generations in most cases don't even know a single word. You can see here how the population of Kalmykia has become heavily Russified on this job posting wall. For example, all of the job postings are in Russian. You see this one, this is the phone number you have to call if you are over 18 years of age and you are interested in finding work here in Kalmykia. They need an assistant, pomoshnik, for their office. This is the number again, with a good working schedule. So if you're interested, now fortunately there are some efforts in place to safeguard the Kalmyk language. For example, here you see Rayonne Gazette, local newspapers, and you see them here, but that's in Russian. However, next to it you see here Kalmg-un, and I can't quite make out what it says here because this is the Kalmyk language. It's mostly Cyrillic.
А здесь в городе почти никто говорит
Нет,
язык.
ну разговаривают, но в основном старшее поколение.
Как наше поколение, они
Ну,
не
так.
знаю. Так и так.
Только.
Окей. Например, как привет?
Мендут.
Нендоп?
Мендут.
Мендоп.
Я сама не знаю, как правильно.
Мендут. А как будет спасибо?
Ханджана.
Ханджана?
Ханджана.
Ханджана. О. Ну, вам спасибо большое. До свидания.
There's even a university here in Elista, right on the main square. Kalmytsky Государственный университет, State University of Kalmykia. Would you study here? So I just spoke to a guy from the Republic of Benin. He is studying at the university here, and he was telling me that I absolutely need to visit the largest Buddhist temple in the whole of Europe, which is not far from here. So I thought, yeah, let's go and check it out. There you go, the biggest temple, the biggest Buddhist temple here in Europe. You can't even see it in its entirety probably due to the low visibility conditions, but it's here, in Elista. Like the contrast between the usual provincial Russian landscape and this is just so weird. It's making me smile, like no joke. You see how both Buddhist temples and Soviet landmarks coexist here in Kalmykia. You see, for example, this is a World War II memorial, the kind that you see in every Russian town, really. Only that here, what you see is a statue of Gorodovikov Basan Badminovich, which was a hero of the Soviet Union, a general who fought during the Second World War, and he was originally from Kalmykia. And over there, again, you see the pictures and the portraits, the names of most Kalmyk generals and soldiers who fought and probably perished fighting for their homeland. Pyatkin, Khodirev, Spatayev, Chertkov, Lyachin, and it goes on and on. I believe that these names are mostly Russian, although I'm not 100% sure, and I believe that is because of the history of Kalmykia, with of course most Kalmyk people, as I was saying, being exiled to Siberia during the war, leaving mostly Russian soldiers fighting for the freedom of Kalmykia and of the Soviet Union in general. Добрый день. Мне очень интересно, я давно мечтал приехать сюда, знаете, потому что...
Откуда?
Я, угадайте.
Германия?
Нет, Италия. Но я знаю, что здесь люди все говорят по-русски, но, как, например, как молодые поколения, как мы, они говорят как язык калмык или нет?
Калмыцкий?
Да.
Изучают в школе.
Да?
Да.
Например, вы знаете, да?
Ну, пару слов знаю.
Как дела?
Ямаран.
Ямаран?
Ямаран мяч.
Ямаран мяч. Калмыкские люди, как чувствуют себя, более русским или калмыкским?
Калмык, я считаю.
Да, калмык. Вы, во-первых, калмык, а во-вторых, русский. Да?
Нет, тут калмык.
Только калмык. О, интересно.
Живу в Российской Федерации.
Да, понятно. У вас как российское имя или...
У меня?
Да.
Как там? Николай.
Николай, а значит российское. А дети как зовут здесь? С российскими
Нет,
именами? Калмыцкие. Значит, что вы исключение. Да?
Может быть.
Будет калмыцкая кухня там в адрес, да?
Да.
Знаете? О.
Да, совершенно.
Alright, so I thought in order to get a clearer picture of the Kalmyk culture, I would need to get a taste of the Kalmyk kitchen. So I came here. It says Park Druzhba. This is Friendship Park. Although it might not seem that friendly to you, still there is a nice restaurant in the area, Kalmyk restaurant, so I'm going to check that out. It says there, Kalmyckaya kuchnia. So I'm in the right place. Right, so I was able to get some Kalmyk food for me here. This is mahan with some meat and potatoes. This is a Kalmyk chai, jumba. And then I have the Kalmyk version of pelmeni over there, so... I'm not so sure I found much difference between the Kalmyk kitchen and the usual Russian kind, but... Anyway, I have to say I'm really enjoying my time here in Elista. I believe the highlight of my trip is slowly shifting towards becoming Elista itself rather than the Motherland Calls a statue, which I am going to see tomorrow in Volgograd. But still, we'll see how that one goes. Unfortunately, it's almost time for me to go back to the bus station and catch my bus to Volgograd. But congratulations, Elista, you conquered my heart.
An hour later at the bus station.
and we set off on a minivan towards Volgograd. The trip took 4 hours, which I spent looking out of the window, although all you could see was complete darkness as we crossed the unpopulated desert of southern Russia. Wow, what a ride that was. That wasn't as smooth as I showed you because it was dark, so I didn't take the chance to record much, but anyway, my original bus was cancelled an hour before departure, and I got the message I had to rush to the bus station and get on the first minibus, which would take me to Volgograd. So we left at around 5:30. We got here at around 10 o'clock, I'd say, and for the first half of the ride, everything was pretty uneventful, but then when we crossed the border between Kalmykia and the Volgograd region, we were stopped by the police and they checked the documents of all passengers on board, and for myself I had everything in order, but I believe the guys from the police wanted to have a chat with me just because of my nationality, so I was taken in for some extra questioning, and I mean it was fine anyway because the guys were clearly enjoying themselves and we were laughing around, so all is good. I'm here. I ditched the hotel idea here in Volgograd and I got an apartment via Airbnb, and yeah, I paid £10 for this one if you're wondering. But tomorrow, the number one reason why I came here, why I decided to go on this trip, the Motherland Cold statue, the largest statue in the whole of Russia, and I'm going to see that with my own eyes tomorrow. See you guys.